First up, this man played over 90 senior appearances for Everton Football Club, a third of the George Award. More importantly, he won an FA Cup in 1995. Put your hands together for Mr. Joe Parkinson. And also joining us tonight, we're really proud to have a local lad, done good, 139 appearances, senior appearance for Everton. He played for other big clubs, PSV, Rangers, Man City and Leicester. It's Michael Paul. Paul again. I'm going to ask you this one. How's things yourself, firstly? All right?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Funny enough, I was just telling Paul I started a new job today. I'm the Shrewsbury Town first team coach. So What
happened?
Actually, it was my first day, brand new job. I was the first team coach, and I got there and I forgot my football boots.
Boy, we'll start with you in your opinion. You've had the chance to have a look at probably from last night, like the rest of us. We've seen him this evening. What's your take on this amazing, I don't know to call your thoughts, but this amazing vision of a football stadium that we've got, hopefully over the road from us?
No, like all of us last night, you're waiting for it to, well, for months, waiting for the design to see what we're going to be hopefully playing football in, and last night was exciting, and you see it all, you look at the pictures and you look at where we are now and you go, how's that going to work? And today, even being here, seeing the fans and seeing Dan explain himself was lovely for himself. You know, you can see he's not just an architect, he's got to know the club, he's got to know what we're all about. He's not just some fella sitting behind a computer putting some fancy designs on, he's got the heart of the club, and it looks like he's brought it over to us, and hopefully we can deliver.
So I think that's a massive, what Paul just said there. I missed obviously what the architect was saying, but I think it's so important that they keep it, everyone involved, and the main ones to be involved are the football fans, aren't they? And apparently I've heard little snippets of it that he wants to make sure it's a home for the fans, not just for Everton Football Club, but for fans as well, which is fantastic, isn't it?
Important. So what's your initial reaction when you see them images, and you'd love to have played them there, wouldn't you?
It's fantastic, isn't it? It's stunning, I think it should be. You know, they've put enough planning into it. They've probably learned off a lot of other clubs around the world. You know, it's just going to be absolutely amazing. And we just need to build a team now that's going to be competing in Europe and actually, you know, fulfil the potential of that stadium.
Brody, you said something interesting before that I hadn't thought of. Obviously, I don't think many people, besides perhaps you two, would think of that. Explain what you meant.
I don't want to throw a negative into it.
No, it's not negative, it was just an interesting observation.
It was just my first thoughts when I seen the designs, and wow, it's amazing. And my first question was, where's the tunnel and where's the Gladys Street end? And then I realised when you look at the images, you're running right. So I was thinking, oh, can we switch that a little bit? But who cares? You know, look at that stadium, it's absolutely fabulous. And
only next player could have think about that.
It's just myself just being a blue, and Joe knows what it's like. You come on Z cars and automatically you go left to Gladys Street, you get a cheer and you're ready for the game. Now we're going to be going to the right, but it's a new future. You know, as long as we've got a good team and we're winning trophies, I don't care.
You'll have to tweet at Dan Rice later and say, listen, sort that out. Joe, we're going to get, obviously we'll be leaving Goodison Park. What was your initial reaction when obviously we were leaving there? You missing?
Yeah, I think everyone will miss it, but I think everyone agrees it's an old stadium now in the way football's going. You know, we do need it bigger. I've been working in the corporate side in matchday lounges, and you know, they're not big enough, they're sold out, they want more, and if they do more of that, they get more money, so you know, hopefully that will be spent on the team. So yeah, we do need to leave, but it's going to be a sad day, very sad. But you know, they put plans in of what they're doing actually at Goodison, which looks great. It's not like the other side where they're just happy to build houses on it. No, they want to look and leave a legacy there, which I think is really important, and I hope they do that. You know, and at the moment we've just got all the positives to look forward to.
Let's get back to Goodison Park. What was it like to actually play in there for the home team?
It's brilliant. I mean, I still get it now when I'm there and Z cars comes on. You know, I know I've not got hair, but the hair's in the back of my head. They do go up. You know, it's just a brilliant feeling, and obviously Ball's done it, you're walking down that tunnel and you're coming up, you go to the left, in front of the fans. I can't describe it anything better really. You know, something you strive for as a young kid, play football. You know, I'm a Manchester Wigan lad really, but you know, just love it here, and coming out at Goodison was a dream really. And I just thought we'd get that atmosphere, you know, within this new stadium.
Well, I'm sure you'd echo those thoughts, but it's difficult perhaps to pick one, but is there a memory for yourself from your playing days at Goodison that you'll always hold dear?
Yeah, of course. Nearly every time you put on that blue shirt, but you know, it's going the game with my father and my granddad, my big family, and you know, 3-4 years old, you go to Goodison, and you know, we know it's old, but it means a lot to us. It's very sad that we're going to have to leave. You know, the financial fair play is a big thing for that now. You can't just come into a club with billions and billions of pounds and expect to compete with the top six. You need to bring money into the club, and it's the way football's going now. So, you know, this stadium that Dan's designed is the one that's going to bring more income in to get us better players and hopefully start winning trophies and a bigger success. And so myself is nearly every time you tick off lists of your first goal, your first debut. It's everything. It's a dream as me as a blue, and it's just every time I put that blue shirt on and listen to Z-Cars was a dream come true for myself and my family.
I thought one of the things that Denise Baxendale said so well yesterday was when she was talking about the Goodison Legacy project, and she said that they're going to try and obviously do some tremendous efforts in Walton and around where Goodison is now, but they're going to retain a play area more or less where the pitch was for a portion of that, and retain the centre circle. She put it so poignantly from my point of view. She said, we'll be able to say that granddads and dads can take their kids and Evertonians will always play on Goodison Park. And that really, you talk about theirs in the back of your neck, that got her own special ovation yesterday. As someone from Merseyside, it's so important we don't forget our roots in L4, isn't it?
No, of course, you know, I was only born around the corner, Lowell Street, you know, so it's an area that my family grew up in, I grew up in, and you know, just to put that shirt on and go to Goodison as a player was fantastic, but you know, just going as a fan, you know, nowadays I take my own son and you know, I'm just back as a fan again and enjoying the atmosphere and enjoying how it is, and it's just great that the club, it's Everton, isn't it? You know, they realise what it is to the people and what it is to the fans, that you can't just knock it down and put, you know, a supermarket there and it's forgotten. It's memories, it's history, it's our blood, it's what we've had the good times and the bad times too. It's somewhere where all the families get together. We go to the game, we go to Wimbledon, you know, whatever. You know, we're all together, and you know, it's good that we're going to keep that as a legacy.
I think it was important to these Baxendale did say yesterday that we are not going to sell this land off to a big supermarket. No big rich man is going to build lots of houses here. It's important that we'll build a community. That's the legacy that it's important that Everton leave, isn't it, Joe?
It is, because you see in the area anyway, they're doing that now with the school and you know, all the different projects. So, like you said, I'm just going to repeat it really. Everton is a family club. It's as simple as that, and a community club. And Denise has said it rightly. I've not heard the words, but yeah, it's perfect. We need to leave something there and get that community, you know, still going.
I'd like to ask you the question before, didn't I, about your favourite game at Goodison Park. Memories come all flushing back, and then someone have to nudge you and actually tell you what your best game was.
Yeah, my best game was, or my favourite game was Joe Rowe's first derby, the 2-0 win. Very much to nudge me in the hand about that. I was thinking, but yeah, that was an unbelievable night. We'd had, it was international break, and at the time we didn't really have too many internationals, did we? So we had 2 weeks of really good training. New manager come in, and the new manager also knew what the derby meant, and he got us all fired up. You know, and what a day! It was a night match at Goodison, which are the best for me anyway, and to beat Liverpool 2-0 was just a dream start really. We went on a good run then, didn't we? And ended up avoiding relegation. But yeah, I think that game was the one to beat. I can't say it.
To beat them last.
Yeah, to beat the Shanghai.
That's a good one. That's a good one actually winning the FA Cup as well. It was a bonus.
Yeah, it was, because you know, I think hand on heart we weren't the greatest team, but we were a difficult team to play against, and you know, we worked so hard for each other. We had such a great team spirit. We did everything together, and I think that showed on the pitches. yeah, we weren't the most skillful, or we had a few skillful players, but God, we died for the club at the time. It's what we needed to get out of trouble. And yet, you need a bit of luck to go on, because we should have been knocked out against Bristol City away. We should have got beat about 10-1, we ended up winning 1-0, and Jackson scores, and we just knew it was so hard to beat. When we got to the later rounds, we just really did, and not just saying it, because it's easy to say because we went and won it. We thought we were going to win this. And even on the day, we were so confident, because we were just so hard to beat. That was the thing. We thought if we nick a goal, we're a team that can hold on to a lead.
You were on record of saying the semi-final is actually, you played better. You enjoyed that game?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think the finals, you've just got to win them. Yeah, semi-finals are the same, but we played at Ellen Road, and the FA give Tottenham that great new stand, and we had 3 sides of the ground, which was just tremendous. You never saw a Tottenham fan until he actually ran out on the pitch, because there was just Evertonians everywhere, and it just clicked that day. I think what helped was the way everyone was talking about Spurs United Cup final. It's going to be perfect, and it just riled us up that little bit more. And I think that day we outplayed Tottenham, not just out-battled them, we actually outplayed them. And I was more gutted that we conceded our only goal that day as well, which was a shame.
Dodgy penalty.
Very dodgy, yeah, very.
Well, you probably, I don't know if you would be in the academy at that time, but you definitely would have been at those games and watching them with your dad and your family.
Oh no, yeah, I was in the behind the goal when McCatchy scored. Yeah, so I was there very early, queuing up with my ticket. So I remember that game very well. And as Joe said, I used to love that team. With the Dogs of War, we don't really like saying, but it was difficult to beat. But we had class players, and there's great defences and stuff. And as a fan, it's sort of I was involved in the academy, and you've been involved with them only a few times, for the Easter, for a week or so. You just see them on the other side of Belfield, thinking I want to be a part of that. And the next minute, I'm a fan, giving them probably stick on the sidelines, and and then it was a great game. It was, as Joe said, when we had 3 sides, you knew there was only going to be one winner. It was all talk about Klinsmann and Tottenham, and Woolsey that day was a young kid, and we put him in his back pocket. And, it was just a great day as a fan, and going out there with your family, your mates.
And of course, it wasn't long before you made that transition fully from a fan to a first team regular. You've had a while to think about it now, but I won't put you on the spot for your best memory, but tell us some of your memories, your performances, and I'm sure we will have some great thoughts on that too.
Yeah, I think every time I get asked this question, I say something different every time. There's so many, it's just making your debuts is the main one, and then as soon as you tick that off, you want to start being involved in the side, you want to start being a regular, and I was very determined to make sure I was. And I had some class pros, Andy Hinchcliffe, and there was Terry Field, who I had to push to one side to get in the side, and both internationals, but they were really helpful. They knew where I was a hungry kid, local boy, and they put their arm around me, they helped me, they take me out, and every senior pro there were fantastic, and we were going through a difficult time, and there was an opportunity looking for me that we were struggling, and the manager put belief in me to get in there and show what I can do. And from then, it's you finish your first goal, and we were getting beat against Arsenal. It was 2-0. I played centre half, which I hadn't played for a long time, and I thought I'd done pretty well. And we were 2-0 down at half time, and Howard just said, "Look, show your wing back," which I hated because that was more running. It wasn't what we wanted to be doing. And then within 10-15 minutes of the second half, I got my first goal, and it's all because Howard dinged me from centre half and put me wing back, and we had a match and the young kids scored again, so it was 2-2, and from that we had a good little run. So it was like your first debut, then your goal, and then you make yourself involved in the first team a bit more, because you're still at Belfield. It was a very small training ground. It was fantastic. It was very small, so I wasn't involved in the changing rooms as much, because he was still in the white teams and the first pros changing rooms, and you just see your team sheet on a wall that you're involved in the first team the weekend, and the next minute you're playing cards with the boys at the back, and you haven't got a clue what 21 is, and next minute you just think, I don't care, you're just being involved in it, you just want to be in the mix, and that's all it was for me as a dream. And I just wanted to put my heart in my sleeve and just go out and give everything, because it's the dream I've always wanted.
What was it like sharing a dressing room with Duncan Ferguson? Because you talk about big personalities, and you're there, young lad, a fan as well. There's no manual to how to adapt to that sort of environment. I suppose you just sink or swim, and you definitely swam. But what was it like, getting changed in the same changing room as people of his stature?
Yeah, great. I mean, as I said, I wasn't involved in the change room as much until later on. But being around all the senior pros, there was Big Nev, massive hero of mine, who used to sit there and give everyone a stick. So as soon as you walk through the door, whatever nickname you give you, that just stuck. And you're devastated. My hero, it just killed me. I think he called me David Burrows for a while in that show. So I was fuming. I loved you. Now I'm not so sure. And that was just the struggles that were going on in Belfield. Joe, Andy Hinchcliffe, and I'd watched them three give each other stick for an hour. I just sat there like a wide-eyed boy going, wow, this is funny. But then it was just so to give everyone a chance to go out and train and forget about the struggles that we're going through as a club, and then so we can put in a good team performance and then go out on Saturday and do the job. And that's what the players like Joe, Neville, Duncan, and they're all the same. And there's a mix of youngsters coming involved that you knew where you stood. And you just have to go out and fight. As long as you showed a bit of spirit, they'll accept you.
Joe, that must have been important for you to, obviously, when you break into the first team, you've got the likes of Neville Southall in there, you've got Dave Watsons of the world, all big characters. That must have helped you.
Absolutely, because I remember watching Everton on the Wednesday night. It was Norwich away getting beaten. I think on the Thursday then I'd signed for Everton, which was a massive surprise. And then walking in the changing room, like Paul said, Neville was the first person I saw. And, not an idol, but I knew what a great player he was. And I was scared. I was really nervous, and he just said to me, "You're my head tennis playing partner, get in here." And I thought, oh my God. Luckily, it built up. We did that with everybody, and like Paul said, the changing room was massive. Even the struggles we were going through as a group of players, we were always there together. And I think, to be fair, when things were changing when Joe Rowe was there, he tried to bring in players that didn't sort of mix with that, and things started to go wrong that way because the team spirit was sort of breaking a little bit by certain people. But when we were there, some of the dressing room, the banter, the things you had to do, we had to stand up for it, and character building, as they say. But you had to stand up to it, and that's the way life was at the time. And if you stood up to it, the players accepted you, and that made life a lot easier when you're accepted in that changing room. But it's quite a terrifying place to first walk into. But it was a great changing room once you've been accepted and was a regular in the team.
Do you think that's missing in this current day and age in football teams, because there's not many big characters like that in the dressing room?
Maybe. I'm not in the changing rooms.
Will be.
Well, yeah. It's not the same. People say about foreigners, it's just the way they are. It's not a bad thing. It could be. You just don't know, different opinions. People are different. I'd probably say it's more professional. The stuff they did, what we did, drank, ate, just doesn't get looked at now. Don't carry it well. It's really kept us in good stead. But the whole game's changed. It's so professional now, and I think a little bit of that's been lost, and it's a shame really. But you just can't do what we did. This day and age, unfortunately, because social media, cameras, just catch everything, don't they?
Talking about this day and age, what's your take on this current Everton team at the moment?
Yeah, well, I watched it on Wednesday. I went to Wigan. It wasn't the best of games. It's a pre-season game. Trying to keep the nephews awake was hard. Can we go home after about 15-20 minutes? It was difficult. We were just talking to Penal then, and first, games like that are hard. Pre-season, they changed the team, full team at half time. Still trying to build on things. But I'm just worried about scoring goals at the moment. It's obvious to say we need a striker. We've been saying it for years. But it's not easy to go out and get one. And then it's obviously getting here. You probably have to spend an amazing amount of money. And will the club do that? I don't know. But I think the opposite problem is we need to score more goals.
Paulie, would you concur? I don't think there's many Blues who wouldn't agree with that. That it feels the priority is to get it right in that centre forward position this summer and get it right quickly. There's a 3 or 2 before the season starts.
Yeah, in an ideal world, you want your new players before pre-season starts, and you get to know the squad, and you get to know what the manager wants to put over. But we've known since Dom's left that we've been struggling, to score goals. I know we've got a lot of goals, which you want from your midfield, but it's the pre-season games which I don't take much notice of. As a player, it wasn't something I was really bothered about. It was just about getting your fitness up. You do things that you shouldn't normally do just to get your fitness up. You do that extra overlap, you do that extra run, just to get your fitness up so you're ready for the main game of the pre-season, of the season. But it's even showing now that, look, we're struggling to score goals, and where them goals are going to come from. There's players leaving the club who have done well for us. We need to replace them. But we knew last season we were struggling to score goals. Is our style of play going to change? I doubt it. So it's up to Marcel Brands, who showed that, you know, he's been very good, very cute in the transfer market, and the players he's brought in have been fantastic for us. He's got a lot of players to shift off the club, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we have someone who we can call a legend again and start banging the goals in.
Well, one addition we have had is, like yourself now, a former Manchester City player, Fabian Delph. What do you think about that signing? I think it wasn't one that was on anybody's radar, but most Blues seem reasonably happy for the price we paid and his experience.
Yeah, it was a surprise to myself. And you know, he's sort of like a forgotten man. He's still an England international, involved in that. Pep Guardiola fancies them a lot. You know, he spent a lot of money on a fullback, and they got Fabian to come in and play his position. You know, and that shows the belief that Pep Guardiola showed about him. So if we've snapped him up for £8 million, that's a bargain in this day and age. And you know, he's going to bring in experience of international football, but also the experience of the in-out of what Man City are all about. But he's been training with world-class players now for the last 2 or 3 years, and he'll be able to show a standard to the players that are at the club now. And it's, you know, I don't know, it's like when Joe was a player, when a new man comes in, all the eyes on him, and they'll see how he looks after himself, looks how he passes the ball, looks how he goes about certain situations. And every young player or every new player at the club, even the old players, will look at themselves and go, I need to step up here, because I want that shirt on him. And that makes and that's what you want now in modern day football, is competition. And when you get a player with his calibre to come to the club, it's only going to be a good thing.
One player we have been linked with recently is Wilfred Zaha, rumoured to obviously £60 million. Would that be interesting for you, or would just?
He's obviously he's a very exciting player. It looks, you know, it's easy in hindsight. You know, Man United thought he was going to be the next best thing, and brought him in, and it looked like he's probably too young to go to a club of that stature at the time, and probably didn't tick all the boxes for Alex Ferguson. But he's obviously got talent there. He's enjoyed himself at his local club. He feels loved there. I personally would have tried to snatch him up 2 or 3 years ago instead of Balassi, but that, you know, again, that's hindsight. But you know, if we're going for players like that, shows the intent that the club's got, and the intent we're going forward. We want exciting players to get the crowd up on their feet, and he's an exceptional talent. So if you bring anyone who's got the ability that he has, it's only good moving forward.
I can't see how what happened myself. I could be wrong, I've been many times before, but I feel like that's Everton's name being used as leverage, and maybe trying to get him into a Champions League club. I don't think rings quite true about that, but I'll be happy to be wrong, proved wrong, and cheer him on if it does come. Another name that's gone, Joe, is Adamor Luckman. Now, he really split fans. We saw flashes of his ability. Ultimately, it just didn't seem to settle. He never really seemed truly happy on Merseyside. What do you make of him moving on?
Yeah, it was a drawn out saga, wasn't it? I think at times when he was having his problems saying he wants to play games, and then he was given a chance, I just think he never took it. He never looked as if he really wanted to show what he could do. Enough, he'd get half an hour here. I think that's enough time to show enough to be wanted to push on the front, to get in the team. And I don't think he ever really wanted to be. I think his mind was set going abroad straight away once he'd been there anyway. So for me, yeah, I would like to have a little bit more money, but let's spend the money we've just got for him on to bring someone who really wants to play for the club. I honestly, and on that, I didn't think he wanted to play here.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. He's a very young talent, very raw, had the ability, and he was an impact player for us. So when he come on, it was very easy for all of us to go, we should be starting. And then as Joe said, when he did start, he went missing. There's a lot of development there for him, but I think Joe is right. It's the way things progressed. He come in under Koeman, couldn't play with Koeman, and then he just felt homesick. There was loads of different excuses, and you just thought when a new manager come in, he's going to get his chance now. He's going to show us what he's all about. Marcel Brands was a good fan of his. but then the push in the button, do it on the pitch. They're not really interested what you do Monday to Friday, do it on the pitch. And he just didn't hit the bar, and it's disappointing to see. I think Joe's right, we could have squeezed a bit more money out of it. If you look at what's going on in the transfers this summer, hopefully we've got a bit of a clause there, but if he does, hit the heights that what everyone thinks, that we get something back from it.
Well, if you was here, what advice would you give him for a young player now going to play his football abroad? Because you've done that yourself. What advice would you give him?
He's been there, so he understands the mentality of them. He understands how it all works. He's probably getting his arm around his shoulder, getting showed a lot of love, getting his time. I don't think he actually played that well at the end of last season, which is good. There's a lot of English players going abroad now, and you know them, and they'll speak to them and the difficulties that you come across. Back in my day and Joe's day, we used to see foreigners coming in, we go and speak English, learn the language, and just get involved. And the way they got brought up was something different to ours, so it was a mixture of trying to get that all to gel. It's only when you go abroad that you realise that the heart is not just yourself, your family, there's other things going on. He's a young kid, and to be honest, he had his dream there to come put the blue shirt and play football. I don't think he was 100% committed to it.
Was it difficult for you when you went abroad?
Not really. It was because I was at Rangers and the manager was Dutch, the coach was Dutch, so I had 4 years of Dutch mentality. So when I went to PSV, it was the same thing really. And it was only the team bonding sessions were slightly different than they were back in Joe's day. But it was. We had a lot of South Americans. We had a lot of Australians, English, and Americans. So I was on that clique. We had the Dutch clique, and that was normal there. As long as you were happy with who you sat around with, they weren't interested as long as you got on the Saturday. And every team talk was in Dutch. South Americans couldn't speak Dutch, they couldn't speak Scouse, they couldn't understand the word I was saying. But on the Saturday you knew your job, and then when you've done your job it clicked, and it's football's one language in a strange way. You know your job, you get told the manager, do this, and trust your teammates, and it all works, don't complicate it. And lucky enough we had a good squad that could go on in the league.
Well, Joe, one player in this position similar to yours who is come from the foreign game to the Premier League and to Goodison and adapted very well so far, Andrew Gomez, we've managed to get him on a permanent contract. Do you expect to see, what do you make of him and do you hope for more next season?
Yeah, I do, because I think he had a really good season for us. I think in the middle when the team was struggled, not just him, the team struggled, sorry. So, like I say, he's come over here, I think he's proven that he can play at this level at the intensity that the Premier League is. So, yeah, I was so pleased that we got him in there, and I think we can build a team around him. But he shows the time on the ball, he seems to have time on the ball, he doesn't give the ball away, he can protect it. I think he's been a great addition to us, and I'm so pleased that the club managed to get him, and it shows an intent. And again, we need to get a couple of more players in, to build on. Delph in the middle, Gomez in the middle, and then go from there.
Do you think if Garnett goes, which feels inevitable now, do you think we need to then sign another player, or could, for example, James McCarthy step up, or could Tom Davis do that job? I don't think he can personally.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. When do you give them players that chance? Who knows what went on in January when PSV came in for him. But what I will say, he was excellent afterwards. Even though his dream move, or so-called dream move, was denied, I thought he was outstanding. So whether they said in January, give us the rest of the season, as long as we get a decent package, you can go, who knows. But I think he's been excellent for us, and if that's what's happening now, so be it. Yeah, maybe strengthening that position, but I do think we need to strengthen in other positions first. I think we've got enough cover there.
Where's the ambition for Everton this season? Where do you see, if they do sign a big striker who's going to provide these goals, do you think they can break into the top 6 when it's open?
Absolutely. We've got to aim for that. We've got to be positive. We're not going to dream and say, yeah, we're going to win the league. I know Leicester did it, no one expected them. That's very, very rare, isn't it? But I think, why not, can we not be in the top 6? But I think we've got to get a goal scorer, or we've got to get goals from somewhere. It's obvious to say, but goals win you the games, don't they? So, if we can get that top striker in that's going to score 20, 25 goals every season, we're going to be up there. And it's going to make such a difference. And like I say, give the fans something back, something to aim for.
Paulie, Joe touched on it just then when he said, for me, it's got to be about winning a trophy next season. And I couldn't care less which one. If it's putting our eggs into the League Cup basket, that's important. Is that as another blue?
Not 100%. You know what Joe just said was right. You've got to figure out here. Last season we were up and down, and then we had a great run, and a few players are leaving, and we need to replace them. And we've got Andre, but that's still standing still. You know, yeah, fantastic. We've got Andre, and you've got to remember he turned up unfit, injured pre-season. Nina injured pre-season and had to come to this country, play that high intensity, and he still showed his class at times. Now with a good pre-season behind these players, they expect more from them, and hopefully Marcel and the manager bring more players to take us that extra level. There's a lot of teams in this league that had a bad season last year, and they're going to be in the transfer market. They're going to be pushing what we want to be pushing for, and we're still playing catch up. So we've got to keep what our best way we've got, add that, and then you're in the mix. You know, that's it's not rocket science. You just got to bring the best players in and hopefully we gel straight away and move forward. But it's this striker situation again. We need to be these guys where we can focus on every time it's not easy football. If you look at Manchester City and Chelsea, Pep and Mourinho, their first trophy was the League Cup. They ticked it off the list. You know, that's what we should be striving for. I'm not bothered what cup it is. You know, you obviously want the best cup as possible, but start by a League Cup, make that important, take it off the list and focus for your next season. You know, and that's what these players, that's what them teams do. You know, it doesn't seem good now. You always want to reach the top and win the league, but it's a progression, and we need to bring players in to take us that progression, not just now, but for the next 2 or 3 years. And I think that's what Marcel's being brought to the club for.
Joe, do you echo what Michael says about just targeting the trophy straight away?
Yeah, because you know, it's easy to say in front of you now, it's great for the fans, you know, but as a player, as a footballer when I was growing up, I wanted to win trophies. You know, the biggest thing for me at the time when I was growing up was the FA Cup. You know, it was just amazing to go and win trophy, and as a footballer look back and say, I've won this, I've won that, and achieve something. It's the fans, isn't it? It's alright having the cliche of let's have a good cup run. No, let's not have a good cup run, let's win a cup. It's alright getting to semi-finals, oh that was a great cup run. No, we haven't done anything, have we? And you know, I'm the same as you out there, I'm a supporter of Everton now, and I want to go to Wembley and win a trophy, and actually come back and not be one of them players who was the last one to play for Everton, who's won a trophy, take that honour away from us, and hopefully this generation can do something for us instead.
No better way to finish off that half of the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Ball and Joe Parkinson.